Hello, and thank you for joining us on Lunchtime News here on KBC Channel 1. It's coming to live from the Broadcasting House in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. My name is Giverson, Maina, and our sign language interpreter is Ann Wangeshi. So join us for the next 1 hour or so for news within and, of course, across the country. So let's get started. And the National Heroes Council has partnered with the Kilifi County Government to honor and recognize national heroes and heroines posthumously. Now, the initiative will also see the two entities identify heritage sites in their respective regions. According to the National Heroes Council chairperson Jimmy Angwenyi, the move will also see, or rather inspire, future generations to strive for greatness.
National Heroes Council, led by Chairman Jimmy Angwenyi, joined the Kilifi County government officials, led by Governor Gideon Mung'aro, to honor freedom fighter Mnyazi wa Menza, also known as Mekatilili wa Menza, posthumously.
Mekatilili wa Menza alifungwa Kisii, wakihitaji wakiliama wakihitaji mali tunaweza kuwapatia.
Gathered at Kilifi County Governor's official residence, the council awarded a medal, certificate and citation honor to the family of the late Mekatilili for her positive societal contribution in the struggle to the Kenyan independence in the early 1910s.
We are forgetting our heroes. And if we are forgetting our heroes, we are losing the history of our country. The Heroes Council is challenged by those sentiments, and I believe the council were here, they have listened to that. We are taking home a very strong message.
The council announced an initiative to identify heritage sites in respective region.
We have discussed with the governor, and we want to see how we can project to do that monument and also secure that site as a historical site for in terms of our heritage.
In his part, Area County Governor Gideon Mung'aro pledged to work with council to identify local heritage sites.
They need to engage more and recognize their heroes. So as we write history of this country, everybody will be able to know so-and-so from Wajir, so-and-so from Hola was part of the history of this country.
He further challenged the council to come up with a book that enlists and encompasses all heroes and heroines across the country.
Where we're not called, just dig it, there's history of those areas so that we can make, maybe one day you come with a small book as a Heroes Council to mention the people who have contributed on what in this country.
The council has so far extended a similar partnership with the counties of Mandera, Marsabit, Elgeyo Marakwet, and now Kilifi.
Now let's take you to Uasin Gishu County, where the State Department for Correctional Services commemorated World Environment Day with a tree planting drive at the Eldoret Main GK Prison. Now, the exercise, which was led by Principal Secretary Dr. Salome Biako, saw over 2,500 trees planted with participation from students at the Eldoret GK Prison Senior School. National Government Administration officers, as well as officers drawn from the Kenya Prisons Service and Probation and Aftercare Services. Speaking during the exercise, the PS said the initiative is part of the ongoing efforts by the department to support global efforts to leverage nature-based solutions to combat the adverse effects of climate change. She said the department remains committed to supporting the national goal to plant and grow 15 billion trees.
Are emphasizing on reforestation of all our lands. And here in the Eldoret, 500 trees using a whole of government approach. Even our clients, the inmates, have come together in realization that we as Kenyans must take responsibility for reforestation, for combating climate change, for restoring nature as it ought to be. Because we realize that all of us have a role to play to ensuring that we actually grow trees, we actually restore the ecosystem as nature would have us do.
Now, the government has been challenged to review and amend the 2026 finance bill to avoid overburdening Kenyans. Speaking in Nairobi, Kenyan High Court Advocate Benjamin Musau, who is also an international tax and tax treaties lawyer, said that if implemented, the current finance bill may result in government missing its tax targets. He cited the digital money transfer tax, the increase in mitumba taxation, and the introduction of excess duty on EAC imports as some of the clauses that, if implemented without amendments, will hurt many Kenyans.
Mitumba is likely to drive more people out of the tax net. They are already in the informal sector. So because of the introduction of and the increase of the taxes, they are likely to emanate more. Then the mobile tax on transfers is likely to cause people to go back to the dark old days where the transaction method used to be cash transactions, which is going to reduce the capacity of KRA to collect more taxes.
Now, away from that, KBC National Polytechnic has signed a memorandum of service with Rift Valley Institute of Business Studies in Nakuru. Dr. Patrick Mushemi, the chief principal of KBC National Polytechnic, said the purpose of the memorandum of service is to establish a collaborative framework between the two institutions to facilitate the assessment and certification in accordance with national institutions' standards and guidelines. Now, recognition of prior learning, Director Stanley Maina said KBC National Polytechnic, being a center of excellence of RPI in the fields of construction and engineering, will ensure standardized assessment of learners.
We are very happy this morning because we are here to sign an MOU between us and the Rift Valley Institute of Business Studies, all the way from Nakuru, so that we are able to do training together when it comes to the issue of certifying RPL graduates. So, KBC National Polytechnic, in its mandate, we are extending our mandate so that they can do the assessment in their own area in line with the guidelines, and for any assistance from KBC National Polytechnic, so that they are able to assess RPL graduates in their institutions, and we will work together in that line.
When we look to impact training, it is just not the youth, but we are looking at the huge workforce that is out there with rich experience but no qualification. So which other better institution than KBC with a very rich heritage and already a model that is working?
One of the focus areas has been scalability, to scale up the implementation of RPL to realize the expected impact. And one of these is to use all TVET institutions in the country, whether private or public. And so this is a milestone achievement.
Now let's take you to Kiambu County, where a call for leaders to embrace development-focused politics and unity of the nation resonated during a meeting in Kiambu County. Area Governor Kimani Wamatangi, while urging residents to remain vigilant against divisive narratives, declared that he will not be pressured into joining any political party, insisting that the people of Kiambu will determine the direction of his political future when the time comes. Now, speaking during a Buddha Buddha Circle empowerment program in Kiamba constituency, Wamatangi said no amount of persecution, blackmail or threats from any quarter would force him into political alignments ahead of the next election cycle. The governor maintained that leadership decisions should be guided by the will of the electorate and not a personal interest. Buddha Buddha riders from Karuri, Kihara, Denderu, Shianda and Mushada wards benefited from the empowerment program.
Ile kitu ya muhimu ni ukipatiwa kazi, jua ile kazi umepatiwa, fanyia watu wako kazi. Hiyo ndio mimi hapo ndio nipo. Na nimewambia hata wadosi wetu wa vyama, munipe tu time. Kwanza mimi nilifanyia watu kazi ama namna gani? Na ikifika wakati hiyo mimi nitakuja kwenu, mniambia Wamatangi, wewe tumekuwa na wewe, safari yetu chama na wapi ni hii safari. Hiyo ndio huko ndio unaenda. Ama namna gani jameni?
Matters environment now. Environmentalist Wanjira Maathai, daughter of the late Nobel Peace Prize laureate Wangari Maathai, has been awarded France's National Order of Merit, one of the country's highest civilian honors, in recognition of her contribution to environmental conservation, sustainable development, and climate action. The award was presented at Kakamega Forest by the French ambassador to Kenya on behalf of French President Emmanuel Macron. The recognition celebrates her continued leadership in environmental conservation, climate action, and sustainable development, while carrying forward the legacy of her mother, Wangari Maathai, whose work transformed environmental advocacy both in Kenya and global. Now, the award also underscores the growing international recognition of African-led efforts in protecting the natural ecosystems and advancing climate resilience.
Today, we have awarded here in Kakamega Forest the highest award given by the French Republic to a fantastic personality, Wanjira Maathai, for her great achievements in terms of fighting for social and climate justice, for championing the cause of environment and human dignity.
This is more than an award, everybody. This is a recognition of a commitment, a responsibility, an invitation that what we are doing here is work that we are committed to. It is actually not work. It is a journey we are all invited to take.
Now to matters health now. The county government of Kiambu has launched telemedicine services in a move aimed at modernizing healthcare services and enhancing access to specialized medical expertise. The governor, Kimani Wamatangi, witnessed a county's first telemedicine surgery at Kiambu Level 5 Hospital through the Proximi digital platform. The technology enables surgeons and medical specialists to observe, guide, and even collaborate during surgical procedures remotely using high-quality cameras and digital communication systems. During the launch, the governor watched a live cesarean section birth alongside medical teams based at the Level 5 Hospital and experts in the United Kingdom. County officials say the innovation will strengthen knowledge sharing among healthcare workers, improve training opportunities, and enhance the quality of healthcare services across the county.
This is the first time I've witnessed an operation of that levels of efficiency, and indeed followed one live. And I want to congratulate you too. This is a wonderful moment for the people of Kiambu and those who come to give birth in Kiambu, who require cesarean section and other surgeries.
It was an amazing experience because we were able to broadcast the surgery and share with both colleagues and even some of the county team that were part of this launch today. It's especially useful because you're going to be able to record these trainings, first to train other people, even students who come to Kiambu Level 5 for training, but also for personal surgical skill improvement.
Today we used some new world-class technology. We used the Proximi platform. And what the Proximi platform is, it is a video setup, which I'm sure you will be shown, videos in theater, that are able to record the procedure and actually project it worldwide.
From Kiambu, we take you to Kajiado County, where residents of Itilal in Kajiado South have taken to the streets to protest against the decision by Kenya Wildlife Services, KWS, to fence off a Tsavo National Park. Led by their Member of Parliament, Samuel Parashina, the residents said the fence has obstructed livestock from accessing graze fields and a water dam that has long served the community. The residents further warned that if the fencing project is not halted, KWS should take full responsibility for managing and containing wildlife found outside the park. In a letter, KWS announced that it had temporarily suspended the fencing exercise to allow room for dialogue and consultations with the affected community.
Tumekubaliana pia kwamba tukitoka hapa kuanzia Rombo Town kuja laini hiyo yote mahali hiyo fence iko, watu wetu watakuwa macho, watakuwa gangari kuhakikisha kwamba hiyo fence haiendelei penye nimepata barua ya KWS hapa. Wamesema kuanzia sasa mambo ya fence imesimama.
Mambo na fence hatutaki. Mambo na fence hatuna mjadala. Mnyama ni mnyama, awe ni wa porini ama ni wa nyumbani.
Tunasikia uchungu mwingi sana. Rasilimali yetu ambayo ndio ng'ombe, mifugo, wananyimwa nyasi ambayo ni Mwenyezi Mungu na ametupatia kama rasilimali yetu wote. Na KWS wamefanya kama ni unyang'anyi, wamesema wao ndio wana haki peke yao.
Now, the Communication Workers Union (COW) has criticized a recent Court of Appeal ruling that overturned the revised National Social Security Fund (NSSF) contributions, reinstating the previous rate of 200 Kenyan shillings per month. Now, COW Secretary General Benson Okwaro accused some employers who challenged the new NSSF framework, under which employees were to contribute 6% of their salaries, matched by an equivalent employer contribution, of acting out of ill intent. He defended the new scheme, saying trade unions, or rather he defended the new scheme, saying trade unions will soon move to court to seek a reversal of the ruling and restore the enhanced contribution structure.
Important for many of us, so that after many years of working, you get back home and you'll have some money you can rely on to pay your medical, pay your food for the rest of your life. From where we sit as KOTU, we supported the 6% because that is the only opportunity where the employer can even provide a saving for the employees. You are aware that when we go and looking for even CBS, it's not even easy to get a 6% increase on your salary.
Now, children rights activists, in collaboration with the Department of Children Law Enforcement Officers and the State Department for Gender, has embarked on a campaign to sensitize the community on ways of addressing various forms of child abuses in Kericho County. The campaign follows the rising cases of sexual and gender-based violence among children across the country. Now, speaking in Kericho, Sarah Chepkirui, a children rights activist, said they will implement a 4-month training program for the project's champions to create awareness and strengthen a response mechanism. Caro Eruto, Children's Officer, Kericho East Sub-County, noted the partnership will go a long way in addressing the matter.
We have gathered as different stakeholders on child protection from the support of Haki Ni Yetu Consortium by the European Union, and basically we have come as different stakeholders just to see what we can do concerning the increased cases. If you look at Kenya Demographic Health Survey 2022, the statistics, the data or the numbers of child defilement cases keep increasing.
We have been having challenges with matters on child abuses, especially sexual offenses and teenage pregnancies. So today we are forming a network, a collaboration team, where we are partnering with these other stakeholders for purposes of referrals.
Matters Ebola. Kenya has intensified its Ebola preparedness following the donation of specialized infection prevention and control equipment from the International Organization of Migration. Our Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni, receiving the donation at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, says the country is vigilant owing to its strategic position as a regional transport and trade hub, despite not having confirmed any Ebola case yet. Among the supplies received include thermal guns for traveler screening, hand sanitizers, protective gloves, liquid soap, color-coded waste bins, bleach, granular chlorine, and disposable aprons. Now, the containment measures are aimed at safeguarding the country's borders against Ebola, Mpox, and even other infectious diseases following reported outbreaks in the neighboring Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo.
Just about Ebola. We also have other infectious diseases that we are prone to, and it is important. So this consignment is holistic for public health and prevention issues.
We commend the government leadership in ensuring that Kenya borders remain adequately equipped while also promoting safe and orderly migration. IOM remain a committed partner to the government of Kenya in supporting national priorities related to health security.
Matters of finance bill now. A section of the clergy from Embu County have warned members of parliament against introducing new taxes in the finance bill of 2026-2027, saying Kenyans are already feeling the heat of the skyrocketing cost of living. The religious leaders operating under the umbrella of Transcontinental Christian Ministries have accused the government of failing to address economic hardships, including the high cost of fuel prices and other basic commodities that has pushed millions of Kenyans to the brink. Now, led by Bishop Joseph Wega, the clergy particularly took issue with what they described as proposals targeting the tea sector, arguing the farmers are already subjected to numerous taxes and deductions which continue to shrink their earnings.
Kwa wabunge wetu wanapojadiliana ama wanapoangalia mambo ya finance bill na wanapoenda kuipitisha, wasikubali hata kidogo kutumbukisha nchi yetu katika shinda. Maana mwananchi amevinyika kabisa amevinyika. Mafuta ndio hiyo iko juu. Mambo mengi, health sector haifanyi kazi vile inastahili kufanya. Sasa nyinyi mnaendelea kuongeza. Sasa nilisikia tena chai, juzi mliongeza mambo ya chai. Mkulima wa majani chai, ongeza taxi juu yake. Sasa mmefikia anaenda wapi? Mnapeleka huo mtu wapi? Sasa mmesema watu wetu.
Nikisema ninasema punda ibungusiwe misigo, kwa maana watu wamechoka na watu wamefinyiliwa. Ukiweka stima KRA, ukienda sokoni KRA.
Mpunguze tax ya vitu mingi ambazo zimeenda juu sana. Maisha imekuwa kali sana, na ndio unaona kuna shida mingi sana. Watu wanatokea kwa barabara nao wanafuatwa na wakora wanaharibu biashara, wanachoma magari watu.
And now back to Nairobi. The Dagoretti South is holding its first edition of the school's music festivals that will be held at the Kinyanjui Road Primary School. Some of the participants in the festivals are St. Clement Primary School, Nembu Comprehensive School, Kahua Academy, among others. Peter Koigi, an official of the Dagoretti South Kenya Music Festivals, noted the event has attracted schools with musical talent focusing on competency-based education. Now, His Eminence Archbishop Andreas Macarius of Orthodox Church in Kenya and the main sponsor of St. Clement Primary School said the platform gives students the region an opportunity to showcase their craft and nurture creativity and build teamwork, all skills necessary to success in life.
Among all those children who are here, coming from very poor backgrounds, I'm telling you, they are talented. And because of their talents, we have to assist them. That is what myself I'm doing. Why not to promote them, you know, through those talents which they have from God, isn't it? Yes, that is the reason why I am insisting, although it is somehow expensive. Now I saw the list of the music items which we have to buy. We will buy for them. Why not?
We are converging here at Kinyanjui Road Primary School, and the number of participants are many, and we are here for our annual music festival, year 2026. And the winners will represent the region at the nationals in Kibabii in Bungoma County in the month of August.
Today we are here to perform the festivals of this year 2026. Music helps us to learn more things better things. Like me, I didn't know how to sing the Latin, but they taught me.
Let's take you to Murang'a County, where Kiharo MP Dende Nyoro has called on Kenyans to re-examine the country's values, arguing that the increasing cases of school unrest and dormitory fires are a reflection of deeper challenges facing society. He called on parents, teachers, religious leaders, and even other stakeholders to work together in rebuilding moral values among young people. Now, speaking during the Kiharo Masomo Bora Students Career Fair of 2026 at Mogori Mixed Day Secondary School, Nyoro said the nation must encourage a culture where every citizen listens to one. Now, Nyoro further noted that several schools across the country have been affected by strikes and unrest, especially boarding schools, raising concerns about the direction the country is taking. He noted the incidents should not be dismissed as isolated cases, but should instead prompt a national conversation about the values being passed on to young people.
All of us as a Republic of Kenya, it is time we recalibrate our national values. Whatever we are seeing in our schools is communicating something about the values that we have as Kenyans. And right from school, it is important to avoid the kind of things that are happening. Even as we do remedial measures to curb them, it is time now to know that we need one overarching values as a country. And one thing that comes out very clearly, we have abandoned our values. Maybe politics have become so dominant in our personal lives and in our communal lives and our social lives that we are departing from being Kenyans, from being human beings. We are becoming reactive every time.
And on that note, we take a fast commercial break. Don't go too far. There's still so much more lined up for you.
Kesi katiana Maini.
Naitwa Maina, si Maini. Maini ya nini? Nilikuja kwa kampuni yenu ndio maana najua naitwa Makoha.
Na nikieleza hii mahakama nimekuambia mara nyingi, mimi nashona suti za men's peke yake. Nitakufanya eleza mahakama urongo. Ati wewe ulikuwa nikilipwa?
Hapana.
Very good.
Kwani wewe alimbatiana
kuongea mambo ya urongo ambayo wewe ujaona?
Wewe alimbatiana base hiyo dress free.
Unasoma unasona ya boys and girls. Na unasona suit ya kampuni za watu ya ndege.
Sasa unauliza maswali ya Maina anatakiwa. Ndio mimi nashangaa jamaa.
Na muelezea sababu anasema ati ya Sony.
Ngoja. Wewe na ukiongea unaketikata preta unyamazi. Wewe unatapreta afadhali wewe kama kasuku. Ukianza kuongea upigi break.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday from 10 p.m. and a rerun every Tuesday from 2 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
Easy. I am clean. So this leaves you. See?
Who's his hey? Mwanamke anajaribu, si ndio?
Sijamuona. Sijamuona madam. Hello. Who's this?
And welcome back. You're watching Lunchtime News on KBC Channel 1. Now we take you to Kakamega, where an 84-year-old woman, or rather widow, from Shipalo village in Shinyalu constituency, Kakamega County, is crying for justice after being evicted from a parcel of land she says she has occupied for more than 5 decades. According to the widow, Anna Shiramba, her late husband and his brother-in-law exchanged approximately 5 acres of land in 1975. She says she has lived on the property ever since and is now facing an uncertain future after being forcefully removed from the land she considers her home. Members of the local community have condemned the incident, saying the land exchange arrangement was well known and witnessed by relatives and neighbors at the time.
Niingia hapo 75 mpaka sasa wanapomoa bomo yangu yote. Ni miti yote ni mimi nipata hiyo mkono. Hata manyumba nijenga mwenyewe. Sasa wanapomoa yangu ni mali yangu wanachukua. Nitaenda wapi?
Sorry for that. Now, the Ogiek community has renewed its full call for the implementation of the court rulings recognize the ancestral land rights in the Mau forest. Now, speaking during the World Environment Day commemoration, community leaders urged the government to fast-track compensation and restitution measures, saying the community has endured decades of displacement despite legal victories. Now, leaders noted that the Ogiek have traditionally protected the Mau forest through indigenous conservation practices, helping preserve one of Kenya's most important water towers. They argued that continued delays in implementing court decisions have left many families without secure land tenure and access to livelihoods. The community further emphasized that conservation and indigenous land rights can coexist, calling on authorities to recognize their role in environmental protection.
This is our 9th commemoration day since 2017. So when the Ogiek were in court for almost 10 years, later on we received a favorable judgment. And since then, we have been having another 2 rulings or judgments which underscored or listed what are the requests or requirements for the Ogiek community.
Sisi tupewe haki yetu. Forest lile ambao inashikilia kama global conservation. Hiyo ni shamba ya jamii ambao sisi kama jamii ya Ogiek ni shamba letu ambao sisi tunalima miti ambayo inakuwa mpaka leo inakuwa inatambulika kama global conservation ambayo inaweka hewa nzuri.
And now we take you to Kisii County, where a section of leaders from Kisii County have called on the national government to enhance security following the assault of Ichuni Ward MCA Wycliffe Esiocha in Kisii Town. Now, the MCA was attacked by unknown assailants at the garage where he had taken his vehicle for repairs and sustained head and chest injuries. Now, speaking after visiting the MCA in hospital, former Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu condemned the attack and called for the immediate arrest and prosecution of those responsible. Other leaders also faulted security agencies over what they described as rising insecurity and politically motivated violence in the region. The injured MCA is reported to be in stable condition as investigations into the incident continue.
Nda yeye kutoka kwa wodi yake, kutoka pahali ambaye anakaa, kila siku amekuwa akikaa ni kama mnyama ambaye anawindwa. Siku ya leo ambaye ilikuwa kama saa 2 saa 3 ndio wamepata yeye akiwa na garage kwa garage. Wameumisha yeye mbaya sana kwa kifua, wameumisha yeye kwa kichwa. Hali yake ngali madaktari sahihi wanashughulikia.
County Assembly MCAs were attacked, their vehicles were vandalized. We wrote an official complaint to the PS Interior, the Inspector General of Police, to the Senate, but there has been no response.
Sisi tunataka kuomba serikali ya Kenya, it is the ultimate duty of the government of the day to give the people of Kenya the security that they deserve.
Now from Kisii, we take you to the Coast region, where environmentalists in Kilifi and Kwale counties are warning mining activities in the region, if left unchecked, could result in severe environmental degradation. Speaking during an event to mark World Environment Day in Kwale County, they challenged mining companies in the coast to adopt global best practices and promoting environmental conservation and climate justice. They called for community involvement and public participation on mining activities to ensure protection of the environment, which is also facing the threat of global warming and climate change.
Minerals are very of high importance and of high value, estimated to be around 8 trillion. So I think for us it's really important as just communities from the coast to engage quite early in the process. I know the tendering process started quite early, the first quarter of this year. But there's need for us to push for public participation so that the communities also know what is due to them, how can they participate. We want just to also see that there's transparency in terms of the whole process, but then also to ensure that mining is done in a manner that is equitable and also in alignment with the best global standards and practices that are there.
Sisi kama CBO ya chini ndio tunajua shida ambazo zinatokana na uchimbaji wa madini, na sisi ndio tuko na solution.
Now, matters Parliament now. According to a report by the Senate Committee on Budget and Finance, pending bills in all the 47 counties have tripled in the last 3 years, with fears that these would continue to rise. The Senate is now calling for radical measures to resolve the crisis, warning it could lead to legal battles that would paralyze operations of devolved units. According to Majority Leader in the Senate, Aaron Cheriot, no single county had cleared its pending bills in the last 3 years, despite billions being allocated by Treasury. He flagged a breach of procurement processes, irregular procurement methods and contracts, missing supporting documents and flouting of procurement laws as major gaps. Kenya Institute of Supplies Management CEO Kenneth Matiba said the institute was actively pursuing strategic partnerships with the Senate and other government institutions to elevate the procurement profession's role in socio-economic development.
It's a very serious matter because if you remove Nairobi, whose pending bill story is a different animal altogether, the rest of the counties as well, their figures are growing exponentially, and it's something if we don't keep an eye on, people will stop supplying goods and services to our counties because they'll say we will never be paid.
Case to the Senate to support supply chain professionals and to partner with the Institute, so that then when they're handling matters of procurement and supply chain management, we have technical support arising from the expertise that we nurture.
We're also looking at support from the Senate in terms of governance by having policy frameworks, policy reviews. We are currently reviewing the Supplies Practitioners Management Act and also reviewing the general regulations.
Now, the county government of Embu has announced plans to roll out a grassroots health and nutrition sensitization program in a bid to combat the growing burden of non-communicable diseases. According to the region's health promotion officer, Pauline Enginyo, the initiative follows concerns by health experts of increased prevalence in diseases such as diabetes and hypertension. Hence, the need for speedy intervention to curb the looming health crisis. Ogea, who spoke at a Kiritiri Level 4 hospital, attributed the prevalence to physical inactivity and a sedentary lifestyle among the locals. This even as the health stakeholders in the county challenged the residents to embrace regular screening, saying early diagnosis is key to successful treatment and management of the diseases.
Our community ili tuweze kuwasomesha, hiyo ndio inaitwa health education, tuwasomeshe katika nyanja mbalimbali na tuwasomeshe mambo ya kukaa katika na afya njema.
We have around 3,000 patients in our non-communicable disease clinic at the moment. Most of these, they are mostly hypertension and diabetes, a bit of epilepsy and asthma. Most of them, they discover these cases when they're a bit advanced.
Nasikia kifua, macho iko na tabu, nasikia kuna huko kwa masikio. Na hiyo ndio inaitwa ENT. Ninashughulikiwa kabisa. Ningenezwa nikapewa ndawa, nikasema thank you to, si kutoa hata kitu. Nimepewa bure na nikashukuru.
From Embu to Uasin Gishu County, where the county government of Uasin Gishu has intensified road rehabilitation and installation of street lights in Kondo Commercial Center and Koiwarusen area in a move aimed at boosting security and stimulating economic growth. Residents and traders in Tarakwa Ward, Uasin Gishu County, celebrated the ongoing infrastructure upgrades that are transforming local businesses and transport activities. Now, during the inspection tour led by County Roads Executive Committee member Abraham Serem, residents and traders expressed optimism, saying the projects have already begun changing the face of the area. Most residents noted that better lighting will enhance security at the night, while improved roads are expected to ease the movement of agricultural produce, especially potatoes, which remain the main economic activity in the region.
Mashule ambazo watoto wangepiga kwa shule kwa sababu barabara mbaya, lakini sasa mabasi za shule zinapita, watoto wanaenda kwa miguu, wanafika salama, na wakazi wafanye biashara wengi hapa.
Tengenezea barabara ilikuwa mbaya kabisa, hata ilikuwa na mapunde mingi. Tunashukuru gavana.
And that was Governor Jonathan B. speaking, and not member of the, or rather CEC, Abraham Serem. And our Meru Governor Isaac Mutuma has called on residents of Meru County to rally behind the national government for the successful implementation of development projects aimed at transforming the region. Now, speaking in Meru SK Showground during the passing out ceremony of the 5th cohort of the Meru Youth Service, Governor Mutuma said cooperation between county and the national leadership is key to accelerating development and improving the livelihoods of the Meru people. The Meru, or rather the ceremony, which was attended by county officials, parents, trainers and other stakeholders, saw a total of 920 young men and women graduated from the program.
Has deliberately built a complete youth economic empowerment pipeline that takes our young people from service to skills, from skills to enterprise, and from enterprise to prosperity. My dear young people, community service is not the end. It is only the beginning. Because after discipline, we have deliberately transformed your vocational training centers into engines of youth empowerment and economic transformation.
Uptake of climate smart solutions remains low among smallholder farmers in Kenya, since they cannot afford the high upfront cost. World Bank Climate Research for Africa technical team leader Vivian Perego says a greater private sector partnership in financing and distribution climate smart technologies to smallholder farm could help reduce risk, boost production and strengthen food security.
The resilience of agricultural systems can improve food security, nutrition security, and improved management of a changing climate. So for the World Bank, this lies at the heart of making the agriculture and food sector in Africa more sustainable.
Now, Tana River County is nearing implementation of a marine spatial plan that will guide the sustainable use of a 76-kilometer coastline and marine resources through a data-driven approach that balances environmental, economic and social priorities. Now, stakeholders meeting in Minjila town validated the draft plan with national and county officials, saying it will help reduce resource use conflicts, protect marine ecosystems and, of course, enhance benefits by local communities from Indian Ocean opportunities.
Special plan is a public data-driven process for the allocation of human activities in marine spaces in order to achieve ecological, economic and social objectives.
Kuna utafiti mwingi ambao umefanywa na wanasayansi kuangalia zile rasilimali ambazo ziko baharini. So zikichanganywa zote kwa pamoja, alafu tukichanganya na hii plan ambayo hivi sasa tunaivalidate, itatuonyesha sisi, je, tumesimama wapi kiuchumi katika kuendeleza maendeleo yetu baharini.
The development of the Marine Special Plan, which is at its second stage in Tana River County, has had stakeholders validate the initial document.
We are ensuring that all stakeholders using the water bodies can align their activities for the benefits of now and even in the future. Yes.
Officials said the validation process helped raise awareness on the value of the coastline and the Indian Ocean while ensuring benefits from marine resources are shared with local communities.
And I think that was also a mistake even when we were going to school. Our map just showed up to the shoreline, and we still have 200 nautical miles inside the sea that was not being seen as part of Kenya. And you know the EEZ of Kenya is half the size of the land.
The 5 counties sharing the Indian Ocean coastline are working on the Marine Special Plan to promote sustainable resource use and reduce conflicts. It has been 5 years of developing the Marine Special Plan, which coast residents hope will unlock sustainable economic opportunities, improve livelihoods, and drive long-term development.
Hii mambo ya sehemu tengefu tumeona sisi tutaiunga mkono kwa hali na mali, kwa sababu tumeona itatusaidia
wakati wa kuvuna. Pia watatuhusisha sisi ndio tutaenda, watu wa kwanza tutafikiriwa ni sisi, sana sisi kina mama karanga, kwa sababu tupate kufanya biashara zetu.
Judith Akolo, Lunchtime News.
Now, still matters agriculture. Smallholder farmers should embrace artificial intelligence and digital technologies to improve food security, boost productivity, and strengthen resilience to climate change. Now, Adapt Kenya has been launched in Kenya, seeking to harness satellite imagery, machine learning, and AI-powered analytics to generate real-time insights into crop performance. Ministry of Agriculture Secretary Peter Woko says technology will help farmers and policymakers make faster, more informed decisions, particularly in supporting smallholder farmers.
Most of the time what we are doing manually at the moment in terms of collecting data. For example, we need to do assessment at the end of every season. And when you have to do it physically, it means you have to send out teams to some of these parts of the country which you can't even access. When you're using AI, you're able to even forecast, even know what is happening in the neighboring countries.
If our farmers are able to then get timely market information so that then they can become more resilient with production, resilient even in terms of making decisions with regards to what's going on in the climate and with the climate environment, then that will present an opportunity for the farmers to make better decisions in terms of when to produce, what to produce.
Efforts from the government as they lead the initiative in other similar efforts in digitalizing agriculture in Kenya is complementary because it gives us the space, whether you are private, from startup, from academia, how we can develop together, how we can responsibly share and govern data so that at the end of the day we all see those initiatives bring a positive change.
In our matters, creatives, fame hubs are being set up across the country to unlock opportunities in the creative economy and expand opportunities for employment and entrepreneurship. Youth Affairs and Creative Economy Principal Secretary Fikirini Jacobs says the fame hubs will offer training, mentorship and market opportunities for emerging talent. Here's more.
The creative economy contributes about 5% to the gross domestic product and plays an increasingly important role in employment creation and foreign exchange earnings. To deepen the impact of the film industry, the government is setting up film hubs for identifying and nurturing talents, as well as acting as a platform for showcasing productions.
This hub is unique in the manner that it is a partnership between the NGCDF, where Mheshimiwa is the patron, and the Kenya Film Commission. And to begin with, I want to also appeal to other members of parliament across board that this kind of partnership can really complement the effort of the growth of the creative economy.
Established through a partnership between the National Government Constituencies Development Fund and the Kenya Film Commission, Uriri Film Hub in Migori County is expected to empower those in the creative economy.
We are also going to showcase different talents of the young people who are in the creative economy, so that when you are here, the whole world can know you from this particular place.
We are battling, unemployment among the youth of our country. And I know, like I've said, Africa is the only continent on earth out of the 6 that is not battling an aging crisis. So the young people who other people see as gold, we should equally see them and treat them as gold.
They underscored the need to leverage competency-based curriculum to nurture talent among young people.
We have also, at least for the first time, seen young people, the top of the cream of the classrooms, also saying, this time I want to go and study a certain stuff in the creative economy space. That means the creative economy space, given an opportunity, can be able to do wonders.
Ndotamo Kami for Lunchtime News.
And on the international front now, efforts to contain the Ebola outbreak in Uganda, such as restrictions on high-risk public gatherings, are impacting the country's entertainment sectors. Uganda's entertainment industry is feeling the effects, with the event organizers warning that a suspension of public gatherings could affect thousands of people who depend on the sector for income, from performers and production crews to vendors and venue operators. Yeah, the details of these and other stories making headlines across the globe.
Uganda has confirmed 6 new cases of Ebola, bringing the total number of confirmed infections in the ongoing outbreak to 15. Uganda declared the latest Ebola outbreak in May after confirming 2 imported cases of Ebola virus disease, including 1 fatality. Authorities have suspended all public events deemed high risk for disease transmission. Health officials insist that the restrictions are temporary but necessary. The measures stop short of a complete ban on gatherings, with essential and organized activities still permitted under strict health guidelines. Uganda's entertainment industry, which relies heavily on concerts and large public gatherings, is feeling the effects as the fight against Ebola takes priority. Meanwhile, the blooming season of Damascus roses in Syria once fueled a proud essential oil industry, but with plantations destroyed, supply chains broken, and regional unrest deepening, only one factory is still fighting to survive. Damascus roses are considered top grade for perfume making. The oil extracted from them is costly and popular in the fragrance and beauty industries. However, the once thriving Damascus rose oil industry has been reduced to a single operating factory as years of conflict, rising power costs, slumping local demand, economic hardship and regional instability continue to weigh on production. Finally, live theatre is making a comeback in Yemen's capital, Sana'a, as artists and performers seek to revive cultural life after years of disruption caused by conflict. Many theatres were damaged, abandoned or forced to close during the war, leaving few spaces for artistic expression and public entertainment. Theatre had been severely affected by bombing, economic pressures and the destruction of cultural infrastructure. Actors say the return of live performances offers an opportunity to reconnect with audiences while addressing social issues through drama, comedy and educational productions.
And now let's get sporty matters. Diamond League. Now, African 100 meters record holder Ferdinand Omanyala faced a tough test against some of the world's fastest sprinters at the Rome Diamond League meeting in Italy, finishing 8th as Olympic champion Noah Lyles stormed to victory. The 2022 Commonwealth Games champion clocked 10.11 seconds in a race that featured some of the biggest names in world sprinting. American sprint star Noah Lyles, the reigning champion, Olympic 100 meters champion, lived up to expectations by powering to victory in 9.88 seconds. Cameroon's Emmanuel Eseme finished second in 9.94 seconds, just 600ths of a second behind Lyles, while Botswana's Olympic 200 meters champion Letsile Tebogo continued his impressive season with a third-place finish in a season's best time of 9.95 seconds. Despite missing out on a podium place, Omanyala's appearance in Rome forms a part of his preparations for the major championships later this season as he continues to test himself against the world's elite sprinters on the Diamond League circuit. Margaret Akidor was 8th in the women's 5,000 meters as Caroline Nyaga finished 12th. Africa champion Julius Yegos placed 7th in the javelin throw with a best of 79.89 meters.
Noah Lyles.
There's always a next time for Manyala. Now, the National Sevens team Shujaa will kick off their campaign against Fiji in the last leg of the HSBC World Championship Series in Bordeaux, with their sights set on climbing their way back to the top flight of international sevens rugby. Now, Shujaa finished 8th in the previous leg in Valladolid, Spain, after losing 14-5 to France in the playoffs, end up rearing for positive results in a tough pool that has this time round. They face reigning champions South Africa in another crunch match tonight before the Great Britain test tomorrow in the pool matches. Now, the Blues box lead with 38 points on the log, followed by Argentina with 34 and Australia with 30 points. Kenya are 8th overall with 14 points out of the 12 teams and stand a good chance of securing their core status in the top tier HSBC 7 series if they finish among the top 8th in Bordeaux.
Enamoato down the sideline, looking for his second score. He has snuck down the narrowest of channels. Gives it to John Okoth, who just about stays in field and scores for Kenya. They'll check it.
Try yes or no.
There it is, try yes or no.
Try yes or no for you now.
AJ Jacobs looked okay from the naked eye in real time. Keeps his feet up.
And now back to Kenya. Kwale County Governor Fatuma Achani, together with her deputy Chirema Kombo, led the launch ceremony of the new jerseys for Waizata Msambweni Football Club. Speaking during the event, Achani praised the team for the progress it has made in nurturing and developing talent within the community. On his part, Deputy Governor Chirema Kombo praised the leadership of Waizata for bringing young people together and ensuring that they maintain discipline and live peacefully. Head coach Salim Kisasi lauded the efforts of the Kwale County government in improving the sports sector, including the construction of the Kwale International Stadium and the development of sports grounds in every ward across the county.
Nataka tu niwahakikishie hakuna mahali mimi nitaachana na Waizata. Endelea kusupport hii team na iendelee kusonga mbele, iendelee kusonga mbele. Kwa hivyo tutaendelea kusimama na nyinyi, hatuwezi kuachana na nyinyi.
Ni asante, sisi tuna yani unataka kutoa shukrani zaidi ya kiwango ujue utoe kiasi gani. Kama si fikira yako kutuambia tuanzishe kampuni ile gari tusingeipata.
And that's where we end our lunchtime news on KBC Channel 1. On behalf of everybody who made this bulletin a success, we say thank you for watching. Until next time, it's bye-bye for now.
there is only one way to save the both of you.
What is it?
Breathe in more of the evil spirit. Let it transform you, and then you can become Mu Wen Yuan Sheng's guardian spirit.
Spirits, mutants, human, will all perish.
I'm coming.
I object.
This is my choice.
My name is Tabitha Wairimu Onyego.
My name is Enoch Onyego Matundura. We used to live